Hello, everybody.
Hello.
It's my first time slamming, so I'm a little bit nervous, so bear with me. I hope it's going to be a good story. My name is Ania, and I'm from Krakow, and I'm really happy to be part of Story Slam. So today's story is about the day I screwed up. Have you ever come across an opportunity which sounds exciting, but something feels slightly off?
Always.
I think a lot of us have been in this situation. But today, I'm going to tell you the story of the day when I realized that life throws unexpected things at us. And it's only when we stay calm and collected where we can survive those moments. So, for 10 years, I was living abroad. I was living in Sweden, Denmark, Netherlands, and the UK. I was climbing up the corporate ladder. I had those great jobs. I was a global product manager in the food industry, deciding on food product developments, deciding on new cheese flavors, launching products into the markets. But something was missing. Poland was missing. Krakow was missing.
Yes.
My home country and my city that I loved. So I decided to make this change. I was like, okay, I'm leaving my job behind in the UK. I'm leaving all the exotic travels. I'm going to come back to Poland. Little did I realize, the work culture is different. And we've got the prime example of this here. So I thought I'm going to just move to the same kind of area, company called Danone. I'm going to be a project manager. Well, I land the job. 6 months into the role, they bring me into a room and they tell me, you're fired. I'm like, what? Never ever has this happened to me. Little did I know that they were collecting evidence of me trying to make some mistakes. I never did any mistake. There was no feedback given. My computer was taken away from me and I was escorted out of the business. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know, like all the years of like believing in the corporate dream being shattered. And then I realized you cannot rely on big businesses. So I was like, okay, I need to like be an entrepreneur. And an opportunity arrives. And I'm offered the position of a business development manager at the wine business. And I'm like, okay, that's exciting. Cheese and wine, they go together. So I'm going to step into this exotic, prestigious world of wine. The owner was quite particular. I don't know if you know businessmen in Poland of the 90s. Proud, loud, you know, splashing money, a bit fat. And indulging himself in all pleasures of life. Attractive women, lots of blonde, attractive women being placed in all sorts of businesses. But I'm like, okay, hey, that's my opportunity to learn how to manage a business. So I step into this project of importing Croatian wines to Poland. Little did I know, the Polish wine market is really competitive. 900 wine importers, low prices, low margins. And how do you sell a bottle of wine if you have hundreds or thousands of options that are cheap? You need to provide an experience. So this is when a light bulb switched. And I'm like, okay, I need to pair up with somebody that has a knowledge in wine. I go to wine fairs, and this is where I meet Kasia. Kasia is a sommelier. She's like renowned in the business. She's a lecturer at the University of Wine. She's a judge at wine competitions. So I'm like, okay, that's the great fit. And she has a wine tasting salon. So I'm like, perfect, let's do that. So we decide to collaborate. She's passionate about Croatia. She's passionate about wines. I'm like, okay, let's do some events together. We do the first one, successful. Then I know that our business isn't doing great. It's expensive to import wine. Like you have to invest a lot of money. The risk is great because you can import the wrong product. So I'm like, okay, in order to save this business, we need to go big. Let's go for Halloween wine tasting. Since I'm quite creative, I like events and I like dressing up, we decide to arrange a big Halloween wine tasting session with like mulled wine workshops. We arrange an event on Facebook, invite 30 people. The tickets quickly sell out. So we're gonna have a full room. We dress up as witches. We set up the whole room and we are waiting for the audience to arrive. Just before the event, when I arrived to the venue, I realized that Kasia and her husband are drunk. Typical for the wine industry. You see a lot of issues with like being addicted to alcohol. Well, but still I realized I'm relying on her expertise, on her knowledge, and like I think like I still believe everything's gonna go smoothly. So spooky music plays in the background, and the guests start to arrive. You know, it's the evening, we've got the pumpkins, we've got the bats, like, and we enter the stage where we obviously are dressed and people are waiting because they want to try our wine. So I don't know if you know how the wine tasting works, but you try all sorts of wines. Like you start with white wine, then you move on to the rosé, then you move into red, and you do it in rounds. And the more you do it, the more the room gets relaxed and it becomes more cheerful. But we're just at the beginning of the tasting session. I opened the first wine, everybody likes it. We're telling ghost stories about ghosts from Croatia, some drunk sailor that is still like linked to the wine cellars. Then we open the second wine and people are quite pleased. And then we're at the stage and then we have a third wine. And then I realize it doesn't have a screw cap. Oh. And it's a cork. I'm looking at Kasia and she's already wobbling. Her husband's wobbling. And I'm like, Kasia, where's the corkscrew? And she's like, I don't know, Ania. I'm looking at her husband who's dressed as a Dracula and she's like flying around. And I'm like, Mike, where's the corkscrew? And like everybody's looking at us. And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, shit, what are we going to do? So Kasia starts to improvise and she starts to tell some sort of weird ghost story of the house being haunted, but everybody knows there's something wrong. And then I realize there's also my cousin. My cousin worked in the wine business as well in Austria. And I think there's a last chance. There might be a corkscrew in my car. So I tell her, please go and look for my corkscrew. So she runs down to my car. She looks for the corkscrew. As the minutes are ticking, I feel the cold sweat trickling down my back, my heart pounding because I'm in the center of the stage. You've got 30 people looking at you and they've paid for this tasting session, right? And you want to do a good job and sell some wine and be professional. So fortunately, at the end, she comes and she brings it like a holy grail. So then we save the situation and we open the next bottle and the next bottle. And then when the people start getting drunk, then everybody starts laughing and it becomes all relaxed and funny. And they jump into making mulled wine. So at the end, the evening turns out to be okay. But little do I know, the dodgy owner, when I come back to the work next Monday, I'm like, okay, we had this great tasting session, and then somebody says, Ania, listen, we've got some news to tell. The owner escaped to Cuba. I'm like, what the fuck? What happened was that he pretended to be this great businessman. In the 2000s, he was like, he had those many businesses, but later, he became a drug addict and he started borrowing money from people, hundreds of thousands of zlotys. So he became very in debt, like he lost lots of money and he decided to escape. So I was left with invoices to pay, like at least the people that supplied us the wine. And obviously I was left with no job and some wine that had to be sold. So I guess the moral of the story is that whenever you feel like you screwed up, in every difficult situation, there is a corkscrew that you may find. And you should stay positive because later on new opportunities open up. I linked with other people. Now I have a great new job and I'm developing my own brand. So keep positive and life is gonna open new doors that you didn't expect. So.